This podcast is brought to you by Infinite Resources, a local staffing agency connecting diverse job candidates in central Iowa companies.
Amplified.
Welcome back to Black and Privileged in America podcast, power, love, and money conversations relevant to Black thriving, supported by Infinite Resources. I'm your host, Abena Sankofa. We could all use a little professional coaching these days. My guest today is going to share a few ways for Black people in general and Black women in particular to shine in the workplace. But first, catch Black and Privileged in America podcast on the Amplified DSM network, on the Amplified DSM YouTube channel, all social media platforms, and everywhere you listen to podcasts. Paula Bell is the CEO of Paula Bell Consulting, which provides holistic support and services for her clients. She is also the DEI business consultant for Culture All. Paula has received a number of accolades for her work, including Iowa's most influential CEO in holistic support from CEO Monthly magazine and the President's Volunteer Service Lifetime Achievement Award, to name a few. Please welcome Paula Bell.
Hello, hello.
Hi. Oh my goodness. I'm so honored to have you here, sis, for real.
You're sweet.
No, you are. You are. So, today, I kind of asked you to share a couple of ways that Black folks can shine in the workplace. But before we even get to that, I want to talk about you because you have such an amazing life and journey that I want people to get to know you. Is that cool? Can we do that? Okay, great. So, what is it that propelled you to get into the work of transforming the lives of masses? Because you do that, but there's got to be an entry point. So what was your entry point?
My entry point is when I tried to take myself out.
Is
my entry point is when I was in a place of real darkness where I didn't understand my own self-worth. I didn't really understand who I was. I didn't understand the value that I bring to the world. And it was because of things that have happened in my past. Life is life out here.
Yeah, it really is for a lot of people.
For a lot of people. And so when I was younger, around college age, that's when I tried to take myself out. But I also realized during that time, through a church service actually, that Donnie McClurkin was actually not only was he the minister at that point in time, but he was also the musician. He was bringing some songs to the conference.
Okay, so wait a minute. You mean Donnie McClurkin saved your life? Are you kidding me?
I don't even know if he knows that.
Wow.
I was all the way in the back of this room when at the Oral Roberts University campus. I'll never forget it. I was in the back of this room next to a good friend of mine, and he pointed to me all the way from the front, and he told that friend of mine to put your hand on her stomach. And I was like, what?
Because you know what? In church, they say, run around 3 times, slap 3 people a high five. But this was different, right?
This was different. And it was also scary because I was like, what is he about to do? And when she did, all I remember to this day is I literally just bent over and I heard him saying, God is breaking up everything now. He's breaking it up. He's breaking it up. The next thing I knew, I was up in the front in the altar. I don't even know how I got there, but I got there somehow. And then it was that day that I started to change my life, and I started to work on me, and I was getting a lot of different affirmations and confirmations from people that is what I needed to do. I needed to let go of some things. I needed to let go of negative words that had been spoken to me. I needed to let go of all those things. And once you let it go, it's going to open up space for you to grow. And so that's what I did. And it was a good journey, 4 or 5 year journey to get me to where I am today. And when I overcame that, it was with the strength and help of God. It was, to me, that was pivotal to, I don't want anybody else to have to go through that if I can help and if they're willing to have to help. So from there, that's pretty much been my mission. How can I motivate, encourage, and inspire others? And with me doing that, it keeps me grounded, so I don't go back there too.
Right. I was going to say, how do you not?
Yeah.
Right?
Just because you overcome something doesn't mean you can't be triggered or things can't happen again that can bring you back to that space. But it's understanding how to get your mind right, how to get grounded, how to get secure in who you are as a person. What are your core values, your core beliefs, all of those things that will help you to stay grounded. And I've learned all of that over time, and I continue to learn. And so as I learn, I put it out into the atmosphere, and that's my passion. I just want to see people live a fulfilling life of purpose, because I'm sick and tired of seeing people take their purpose to the grave, especially if somebody else is depending on them to fulfill that purpose, to continue to fulfill theirs. So that's really my motivation.
I
That's
love
a little
that.
bit of my story.
Yeah. I mean, you talked about letting go. And you said it was like a 4 or 5 year process of that. What do you mean when you say let go, and what did you have to do? Like, what's the process of letting go?
Well, first you have to do some serious self-reflection and introspection.
Ooh-wee, yeah.
And you have to be vulnerable, and you have to look at yourself in the mirror and know that sometimes you're not going to like what you see, but that's a part of the healing process. Then you have to determine what are those things that don't serve you any value. That could be people. That could be things that you're doing. That could be jobs. That could be volunteerism. That could be leadership. What are those things that are not serving me any value, that are taking up space? Some of those decisions are hard decisions to make, because you might feel that you're letting someone down. But if you're in a space not serving you value, what value are you actually giving to that organization or to that person? So you have to determine what those things are that aren't serving you. And then you have to start doing some cleanup. You need to start to have those hard conversations maybe, or let go of some things, and do it unapologetically. Don't let somebody guilt you into staying or guilt you into a relationship, because there's chapters of your life you need to close. Some people are in your life for a reason, season in a lifetime. And I think Tyler Perry said it best in one of his plays. Don't confuse those seasonal people with lifetime expectations. And so you have to figure out, where do individuals fit? And you have to be really true to yourself, because if you don't know who you are, how on earth are you interacting with other people? If you don't love yourself, how can you truly love someone else if you don't even have that love for you, and you are the most important person to you, right? So it's just a process of doing a lot of self-reflection and introspection. And one of the things I do now, and I started it in 2014. I've been consistent up to this point. So it's been 10 years now.
10 years. That's
10
quite
years.
a long time. That's a commitment.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I take the last 2 weeks of the year off. I don't work for my business. I shut my business down. I don't work for anybody else. I actually go into hibernation. And my family knows it. Everybody knows it. This is Paula time, where I need to decompress. I need to reevaluate. I need to look at my goals and see what I achieved, what might I not have achieved, where do I want to go. And I need that time to just level set and get regrounded. And I realize if I don't do that, my next year is not as smooth as it could be.
So you take the last 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks. Goodness, let me get it right. The last 2 weeks of every year, you take completely off. You unplug. Yeah.
And when I go for a position, that is when we go through the offer, that is a non-negotiable.
I love that.
If I can't have the last 2 weeks of the year off, it's not going to work. So it's a non-negotiable for me, because it's really important, because I don't want to get back to that place of depression, back into that black hole. So this for me is how I manage and how I cover my mental health.
What kind of support system did you have as you were beginning this journey of, becoming more of who you are now? Because I feel like it sounds amazing to me, but I know you have to have some support. So what did your support system look like?
I was very intentional on who was around me at that point of vulnerability. And so luckily for me, I was at a private Christian university. That's how I was brought up. And I know everybody's faith, everybody has different faiths, different beliefs, and I respect that. That just happened to be my faith and my belief. And I had people who I was very close to, and it wasn't a lot. It was a handful of people, maybe 5, who really knew what was going on with me and who knew where I was trying to go. And so that journey I was very intentional and strategic on how I shared, and I didn't know it at the time, actually. I didn't even realize I was being intentional or strategic. They were just people that I felt had my best interests at heart, truly loved me, truly supported me, and truly wanted to help. Because they knew me when I wasn't good, and now they know me when I'm repairing myself and trying to get better. So I was very intentional. But what was also interesting is we all had our trials and tribulations that we were going through. So it was a nice little support system as all of us journeyed. I mean, we were young. We're trying to figure life out and figure things out. And then because of that, I had some parental support. So my family was then extended because my family supported these individuals. Their family supported me. And so you had that additional layer of covering, which I thought was great. But to your point, it's not just about having the support, but them holding you accountable.
Oh, so accountability is huge. Yeah.
Yes, they would check me.
Yeah.
You know, when I was doing things that didn't serve me, or when I might be going back into those places, because at that point I was a people-pleasing person and I tried to buy love. So I would do things for people in hopes that they would like me. And I've gotten past that now. I'm still a generous person. I don't believe that is not a part of who I am. I take after my grandmother in that way. But you also have to know how to be generous. You can't just give your resources to
give everything.
Yeah,
give everything.
Can't.
Yeah.
You just can't. So it was some growing pains there and learning, getting hurt a few times, still learning. But it was having those people around me, a small group of people who supported me, but also held me accountable.
So you mentioned that there are people, you quoted Tyler Perry, there are people who are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Those people that were in your life at that point, are they lifetimers?
They're lifetimers. I still talk to them today.
Oh, so what's that like when you reconnect?
Like we never left. That's literally how it is. So we don't talk all the time. But my roommate and best friend who was at my wedding, who we've been through things from thick and thin, we just reconnected again a month ago. And you would have thought we've been talking for weeks. I mean, it was just amazing to just reconnect and have those conversations, hear what she's going through, hear what I'm going through, reminisce a little bit on things that had happened in the past and people. And so that's the beautiful thing about it, is that when we do reconnect, whether it's on social media or a phone call or a text message, it's like we never stopped talking. So that's how you know that they are supposed to be there. They come in right at the right time. So it's interesting how you might be going through something and all of a sudden they just pop up.
Yeah.
And you hadn't heard from them in like maybe 2 years.
Maybe a phone call, a text, something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is amazing. I love it. What is purpose? How do you define purpose? Because I'm doing my research on Paula Bell, and I mean, I learned so much about you. I thought I knew you.
I hear that all the time.
I'm like, this woman is unstoppable. Like, you're the Energizer Bunny.
I know. I hear that all the time. I have people ask me, how do you do it all? That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But purpose.
Yeah. So what is purpose? Because everything that I've read about your work, about you, the common theme seems to be purpose. So what is your definition of it?
So purpose is not passion. I want to be really clear about that. I do believe people confuse purpose and passion. And how I explain it is passion is a child of purpose. You can have many passions, but that doesn't mean it's your purpose. I am passionate about cooking and baking. I can throw down in that kitchen, but my purpose is not to own a restaurant. Mm-hmm. That would take away from the joy I get from cooking and baking. It's a de-stressor. And for me to own a restaurant, it's going to stress me out. So I know that, right? That's not my purpose. But the reason why I truly believe cooking and baking is something I'm passionate about and I love doing, because it's a way for me to connect with people. It's a way for me to have people at my table where we're breaking bread together, where we can have conversation. My purpose is to motivate, encourage, and inspire. And I truly believe the things that I've went through up to this point has allowed me to appreciate life and appreciate how important it is to have people behind you that will motivate, encourage, and inspire you. Your purpose is that thing that chases you, that when you try and run from it, you can't, because it is that thing that just keeps pulling you back. It's that thing that has a fire, that lights a fire in you, that energizes you. It's that thing that you would do for free and not get paid for.
There you go. I know. Yeah, it's the thing that you would do for free and not get paid for.
That's how you know you've gotten to that point where I'm pretty close to what that purpose is, because it's just something that just energizes you, lights the fire under you. And it's just that thing that you just enjoy doing. It gives you life. You get up and you're excited to do it. It's that thing. And some people have gotten into this routine of just working and making money so that they can pay their bills. They're working to just support. And it's almost like they're living to just work. I want to switch that mindset to where you work so you can live.
Oh, that's profound. What a nugget.
Yes.
Work to live, not live to work.
I want you to work to live. I want that work to be a supplement of the things that you want to do to live that fulfilling life. And it's a whole process I go through with clients, from childhood all the way to where you are today, because what you will probably find is those things that excited you, that interested you as a child, some of that's still there.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that's still there, because that's tapping into your purpose. But because of work, other distractions, you've lost some of that. I remember just last week, I was doing a speaking engagement with the wonderful African American Leadership Academy.
Yeah, they're a great group, and such a great
group.
Organization, the Directors Council.
Awesome organization. And this is the second year I got to be a speaker for the cohort, and it was all about brand, your personal brand.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found so interesting, and it happens every time I have this topic, there are two questions I ask that stump people all the time. Who are you, and what are your strengths? Now, I don't mean what are your strengths just for what do you use to do work. So what happens is people have a hard time separating their strengths at work versus what their personal strengths are.
Yeah.
And so there was a young man who was in there, and he raised his hand. He said, I'm having a hard time defining these strengths. And before we got to that point, one of the things I asked is, what is one word, the one word that you always want associated to you when people hear your name or see you? You're going to have many adjectives, but what's that one adjective, that most important adjective? And he had an adjective that was around always putting other people's happiness before his own.
Okay. Wow.
And it's because he just loves to help people be happy. And so what I found interesting in that is I was like, okay, so let's break that down. In order for you to understand what a person's happiness is, you need to have a strength in building relationships, a strength in connecting, a strength in active listening, a strength in empathy.
You broke it on down for him, didn't you?
I did. And he was like, well, dang, you just told me everything in like 30 seconds.
I mean, you can read, girl.
I can't. And I was like, well, that's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that out of you because you need to understand your personal brand. And for those who are business owners, your personal brand should be driving your company brand. You're spending so much time on your company brand that if somebody asks you about you personally, you can't even talk about yourself because you haven't spent time on defining what that personal brand is. What's your personal mission statement? What's your personal brand statement? What's your elevator pitch? You need to be able to define that because you drive your brand, and your company brand should align with your personal brand.
For sure.
And as I'm quite sure, as you've seen on social media, you have people who have company pages, but then when you see their personal page, you be like, Lord have mercy. This is how you act outside, which can damage your business.
It can, and I've seen the meme that's, I would say a lot of people would agree with this for them, that the meme says, like, are you sophisticated? Are you hood? Are you ghetto? Are you complicated? And then at the bottom it says, I'm mixed. Like, I'm everything. So, yeah, I can see how, it could hurt us or harm us if those two don't align.
Exactly right. And so it's just spending some more time on you. And a lot of people also feel that I shouldn't brag about myself. If I talk about myself, I'm bragging. Let me tell you something.
You better talk about yourself. Come on.
You better, because if you don't, somebody else is going to write that narrative.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody else writing my narrative. I want to write my own narrative. Now, if that might come off to you as arrogant or conceited, that's a you problem. That's not a me problem, because my intent and my motivation behind it is to market myself so that you have an understanding of who I am, what are my core values, what makes me unique, what are my strengths. And in order for me to do that, I have to talk about myself.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being arrogant and conceited and being confident. And there's nothing wrong with being confident enough that when you are in certain rooms, you can confidently talk about who you are in a way that's still humbling, but it's authentic and it's bold. And you can do that and not have to apologize for that. And if someone comes to you and says, you're being arrogant or conceited, again, I have to ask, what is your motivation behind even saying that to me when this is no different than you looking at my resume and reading what's on a piece of paper? I'm just saying it. I'm just articulating it. I'm just communicating it. But yet and still, because I am, you want to label me. Again, that's your insecurity, not mine.
Do you find that label comes, it's even more prolific when it comes to Black women? Are Black women labeled more than other groups would be labeled because of that confidence that they may exude?
Oh, Abena.
Come on now. I'm seriously.
You know the answer to this.
I do.
One. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I've been in many different corporate organizations, and I've gotten it all. I have walked into the room and not said a word, and I'm intimidating.
Right. But no, they're intimidated. They are in. I put the onus back on them.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I haven't even said anything yet to intimidate you.
Right.
I haven't threatened you. I haven't said anything. Just my mere presence scares you. Again,
well, I will say this,
issue.
though. There is something about you that is, as I said before we went on the air, you are regal.
Oh.
And if a person is insecure and not sure of themselves or whatever, they could be intimidated by that. Mm-hmm. But that's not your fault. That's them. That's their issue.
100%. And I had to get over that, actually, because I would actually dim myself so that I would fit. No, I don't fit anymore. I'm just going to be Paula. I don't feel I should be switching who I am to make you comfortable.
Right.
As long as I'm not doing anything disrespectful, as long as I'm not doing anything threatening, if we are just having a conversation and I come off intimidating or threatening to you, and I'm talking just as calm here as anything, again, I'm not going to take that from me. That's not a me issue. That's just figure out what's going on there. Why are you intimidated by me? Especially if I haven't said anything intimidating. But yeah, I mean, we get pegged the angry Black woman. We could sit in a room, say the exact same thing as a non-person of color with the same voice tone, the same behaviors, body language, and we're told we're angry because
aggressive.
I've had a couple of managers in my career tell me that my passion is intimidating.
Yeah. Whatever. Come on, y'all. Really?
And sometimes you step back and I do reflect. I have to think, so could I have said that differently or whatnot? And then I'm like, this is too much energy. Mm-hmm. If you're telling me I should be able to bring my whole self to work, then you're really not ready for my whole self. So I'm not even giving you my whole self yet. I'm still holding back on some things, right? And so I had to really get confident in who I am. And I take it. I still get it to this day. I get comments like that and feedback like that. That just might mean I'm just not the person for you. And not everybody's for you. And I'm okay with that. Not everybody's my ideal client. Not everybody is somebody I should coach. We're just not a good fit. And I'm okay with that because there's an abundance out there of people who can probably service you and be a better fit for you. And I don't take that as a negative with me. I just take that as it just wasn't meant to be.
Right. So I was looking at your website, which is your website is a phenomenon because I'm like one person. Mm-hmm. This came out of the mind of one person. Like, what planet is Paula from? Mm-hmm. Okay. So mind, body, soul.
Yes.
I kept seeing that over and over. You do life coaching, career development, professional coaching, all different sorts of coaching. And then there was a line in terms of talking about the mind aspect, limiting beliefs and self-sabotage. Can you talk a little bit about what that means and what you see in your practice?
So let me give you an example. So yes, you have a holistic experience with me, and that's what makes me unique as a coach. So for example, let's say you come to me for career coaching and you want to either do a career pivot or you want to advance in your current position. And so let's say I start coaching you and we start building on certain skills and competencies. Then all of a sudden, I start to hear self-sabotaging phrases you use towards yourself or some limiting beliefs that you have. Well, I can't do that. That's not in my wheelhouse. Okay, so let's back up a minute. I'm now going to move from being your career coach to your life coach. But you don't have to move coaches. My content and approach might be different, but you're still with the same coach. And that's why I do that, because I found that when I would start with a person on their journey, I would find as we go through the journey, opportunities to do different types of coaching. I don't want you to go to another coach because I already have built a relationship with you. I already have traveled some of this journey with you, and I want to travel it all the way. So when I hear people using negative phrases about themselves or bringing back feedback they got back from others that actually isn't true. And that's another thing. Feedback is good, but you have to know what feedback to take and what feedback to leave on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to say, eat the fish, but throw away the bones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what are those things that resonate with you and those things that don't? Because some people will camouflage feedback as opinion. And so they're really giving you their opinion of you, not feedback. You have to know the difference, right? So when I do the whole mind, body, and soul aspect of it, I need to get your mind right, because if I can't get your mind in a place of stability, as a martial artist, so you probably saw my website too.
Yeah, because I'm coming to that too.
To martial arts, right? So as a martial artist, one of the things that we learn in martial arts is this concept of structural integrity. And what structural integrity means is that your body is always in the right position. Mm-hmm. Because if your body is even a little bit off, you could get hurt. So your structural integrity, you have to be grounded at all times. That's why you spend a lot of time doing stances, understanding your body position, understanding how to sit in a stance, understanding how your body moves. And so that's a mind shift thing, right? You have to get your mind right to be able to train. I take that same approach in my coaching. I need to get your mindset right. I need to get your structural integrity better. Then I can build on it, because right now your structural integrity is unstable. It's not stable, it's unstable. And so I want to get that a little bit better. And so when I start hearing those thoughts that are negative versus positive, we need to address that and determine where the root of that is coming from. And so that's when I back up a little bit. Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Why do you say that about yourself? And so, those limiting beliefs, I got to get rid of them.
Got to get rid of them. What happens to us when we neglect our bodies? Because you also, we were leaning into body. So you have an entire fitness program. Mm-hmm. What happens to us when we neglect our physical bodies?
Well, if you're not well as a person, you're not going to perform well. If you're constantly sick or constantly under the weather, and I went through this stage, you're not going to have any energy to live out the fulfilling life you want or your purpose. So it all works together. You have to make sure you're taking care of your body. I'm not saying go out here and because I'm not 100% clean. I will give you probably a good 80, 85%. I probably
You're
eat
so
right
honest.
and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I don't work out every day either. I had a little stumble last week where my knee is a little banged up. So I haven't worked out this week, but I don't feel bad about it. I mean, you have to know when to let your body rest, but you also have to know that you have to take care of it. Because to me, your body is your temple. And again, if that structural integrity isn't there, you're not going to perform as well as you can perform or do the things like you want to do. So it's interesting to me. I'll be on Facebook sometimes, and I'll be watching some of the people that I know put up these pictures of all this type of food and stuff that they're eating. And I'm like, now y'all know.
Why are you in my business, Paula?
We got diabetes. We got high blood pressure. Y'all up in here eating tons of fried food,
salt pork,
greasy food, pork, and all of that.
Peas.
And then got the audacity to critique the food. I'm like, come on now. Now, you shouldn't even be eating that at this point, right? And so it's all good to do everything in moderation, but I also know how important it is to take care of your body. So let me be a little bit even more vulnerable. So you say I do group fitness programming.
Yes,
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I do high intensity cardio. I eat relatively good. In 2014 or 16, I won a health challenge.
Oh,
when I did a health
congratulations.
challenge. I won it out of like 40 something women. I won
Wow.
it virtually. I'm on high blood pressure medicine.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Had started last year because I'm a Black woman, because it runs in my family, because of other things that happen with Black women as we get older, right?
There's a ton of stuff. Yeah.
I have to take a small doses of blood pressure medicine. Now, my doctor is amazing. And he was like, I need you to get out your own mind because I know where you're going with this. He says, it's nothing you have done wrong. This is hereditary because they ran all the tests. I have no calcification on my heart. My test came back 100% clean. He said, you need to keep doing what you're doing. Unfortunately, this is just a part of your genetic makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to make sure this is not something that takes you out earlier than you're supposed to be taken out. So yeah, it was a humbling experience for me. It made me upset. It made me mad.
Were
I've
you
gotten
scared?
over it. I was. So when I had to do the CAT scan for the heart, my blood pressure, because I was stressed out, was 178 over 110.
Oh my God. You're laughing. That's
I am
so
laughing
serious.
now because my blood pressure is usually 119 over 70 or something like that, right? So I was, my doctor was like, okay, some of this is you and your anxiety. So he was really there to help me. And I laugh about it now because as I think about it, I didn't need to be that stressed out over it. I just needed to go with the process, trust the process and go with it and know that this is just something that's made up in my genetics. But I'm very serious about it. And that's what I promote for other people. I got to practice what I preach. So if I'm telling you it's mind, body, and soul, you have to see me doing mind, body, and soul. So I'm not one of those people who are going to tell you what to do and do the exact opposite.
Right.
I
think you're a great example of, practicing what you preach. You do that. Mm-hmm. And speaking of soul, you say that this is where the creative work happens at the soul level, mm-hmm. that purpose work that you talk about. Mm-hmm. You said and I'm intrigued by this alignment, business analysis, project management, mm-hmm. leaders, mm-hmm. categorized as soul. Can you help me make sense of that?
So to me, you get your mind right first. You make sure your structural integrity is good with your body. So those work in tandem. And then you can do your soul work, the things that's in your core, those things that make you happy. So whether it is you want to be a leader, how can I be a more effective leader? Business analysis and project management is my background, 20 plus years of that, right? So I'm very well versed in that domain. I'm a thought leader in that domain. How can I help you elevate yourself in that domain? Do your soul work. You're in this. This is part of what you want to do. How can I elevate that? So there are different aspects of soul that I am an expert in and a thought leader in, and that's what I focus on, and that's why I call those out, because I don't think sometimes people make work their identity, and work really shouldn't be your identity.
I agree with you.
Your purpose
mm-hmm.
is your identity.
Yes.
Who you are is your identity. The work to me is just a complement to that, a supplement to that. And so, but what I want you to be doing is your soul work. The work that aligns with the purpose. So we spent all this time getting your mind right, figuring all of that out. We spent time, hopefully, on the wellness side aspect of it, whether it's positive affirmation. So the wellness is not just working out in me. Your wellness is mental wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual. It's all of that, right? So we've got the wellness. So now let's have you executing in the soul part of it and having all of that aligned. You are actually strategically doing things that align to your purpose to live the fulfilling life that you want to live. And so I've had people who have determined what that is when they work with me. And so then they know what their soul work is, and they start to morph and elevate. And it's a beautiful thing to watch when they start to work in that. But there are certain domains in the soul part that I do have expertise in and I'm certified in that I can really help elevate clients to.
If you don't know Paula Bell, you need to get to know Paula Bell. She is a whirlwind, a phenomenon, a world changer. She's a change maker, and you must get to know her. So let's get to our 5 tips or 3 tips or however many tips you have for Black people in general and Black women in particular to shine professionally at whatever their purpose or work is. What do you have for us, Paula?
I do. So you see, I need to write them down so I didn't forget them now.
For sure,
so that's how I got to do. So the first thing I will tell you is know your personal brand. Specifically in that brand, really be clear on your unique value proposition. What makes you uniquely you? What are your strengths? And what's your worth? If you can't define that about yourself and you can't write that narrative about yourself, there's more work that needs to be done internally. You should be able to be grounded in who you are and write your own narrative.
That's good.
Okay, so that's the first thing I would tell you. Always stay educated in your field. Never stop learning. So for me in 2020, I spent about $7,000 on education. While the world was shut down, I took that as my opportunity to grow.
Yeah, I think that's good. Me too. I did the same thing. Yeah.
And that's because everything's silent and it was quiet.
No
and
distractions.
It was nice. No distractions. And so that's when I spent a lot of time educating myself on a lot of different aspects that would not only help my company, but also help the clients I serve in my company. So never stop learning. And when you think you know everything, keep going. Because I'm quite sure there's more to learn.
Absolutely.
It's evolving. The world's evolving. The world's changing. Know your personable marketability. So know how to market yourself. Know how to get out there in those uncomfortable situations and market yourself. And if you don't have a seat at the table, make you one. It means now
make your own doggone table, right?
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yes.
You can either make you a seat or make your own table. Do whatever you need to do, but know who you are and be confident and bold and unapologetic on communicating that, because there's no problem with it. You're not being conceited. You're not being arrogant. It's just you're just marketing yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I really need people to understand that. Market yourself, no matter how somebody else might take it. Market yourself, because you don't know who might be listening.
Exactly. You are freeing us up here, Paula.
I'm just trying to say, network strategically. Not everybody's meant for you. So no, and make sure your network is diverse. Make sure you don't have people around you that always agree with you. Have people around you that don't agree with you, who will challenge you, who will push back on you. You definitely need that. And then finally, stay authentically you. Yes. Do not let anybody change who you are at your core, because you're that reason. You're there for a reason. You're authentic in that area for a reason. You are the person you are for a reason. Don't let somebody change your authenticity. Stay true to who you are. Stay true to your beliefs, your core values, your strengths, and that will get you far. You may not be liked by everybody. It's okay. You may not be accepted by everybody. That's okay. But as long as you stay authentic and you can look at yourself in the mirror every day and you know you've done all you can and you're living your true self, there's nothing to apologize for that.
Oh, my God. Okay. This is just golden. This is golden. So I want to recap. Okay. Number one, you said personal branding.
Know your personal brand.
Know your personal brand. Number two, never stop learning. And then number three, know your personal marketability.
Yes, ma'am.
Number four, network strategically.
That's right.
And I love the part about keeping your network diverse. That's so important. And then finally, stay authentically you.
Exactly.
I mean, if you have not freed us up, I don't know who possibly can. Well, you left off, you picked up where Martin Luther King left off. I mean, come on.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So as is my tradition here at Black and Privileged in America podcast, I always ask my guests to share with the listening audience a book that you are reading or have read that either has challenged you, moved you, changed you. What do you got?
So this is going to be different, I'm quite sure, than anything anybody has probably given you.
Ooh, okay.
It's not necessarily a book that you read cover to cover. It's a book you pull from every day.
Okay.
And it's called The 10,000 Positive Affirmations by R.M. Winters. And let me tell you why I recommend this book based on what we're talking about today. Because sometimes it will be lonely. And the people who you thought had your back will not. And the people who you are vulnerable with may leave you or may even talk about you. And sometimes all you have is you. And you need to have something that can help to build you up. So in those days where I feel I am not shining, I'm not gelling, I'm having those hard moments, I go to this book and I pull out about 25 positive affirmations that I speak into existence to manifest the environment that I know I need to thrive. And regardless of if I have someone who's there for me or someone who's not, I can do it on my own. So this has become a staple for me on staying positive, because as a coach, people pull off of me. I hear a lot of negative. I hear a lot of pain. I hear a lot of hurt. I need to re-energize myself and fill my cup back up. And this book has been a game changer for me as a go-to to be able to help me in those times. And just every day to just start my day off with something positive.
I am definitely going to add that to my list of books to get. I have like a to be read stack of maybe 50 books, but that one is definitely going to be on the top of the stack. So it's 10,000 Positive Affirmations by R.M. Winters.
That is correct.
Wonderful. Paula, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was great. I had so much fun.
I mean, you just changed me. I know I've got work to do, but what you've done is you're a reflection of everything you're talking about. So now I have an example, an aspiration. Like we should all be like Paula Bell. So thank you again, Paula. To my listeners, I mean, gosh, we've learned so much today from Paula Bell. Her purpose is to motivate, encourage, and inspire. And I think in this hour, she has exactly lived out her purpose. Subscribe, like, and share. Find Black and Privileged in America podcast on www.amplifydsm.com and my website, www.abenasankofa.com. Stay engaged. Stay curious. Keep striving. Thanks for listening. Until next time.